Pierre Poilievre is continuing to blast markcarney for all of the failures, and he just put out a good new ad that I just put out on video, so you guys can check that out. He's also still going after Canada's #1 dummy, Sean Fraser. It used to be Chrystia Freeland. You can even say it used to be Jagmeet Singh, but they're both gone now. So who's next in line? Sean Fraser, the failed housing minister, the failed immigration minister, is now the attorney general. Somehow, some way, this is the world we live in, but Pierre's not going to let him off the hook. So I got this clip to show you here. This is from Jasmine Lane, by the way. Go give her a follow as well. And she said that Pierre is going to call out Sean Fraser for losing track of 600 criminals. And then I also have another video from the Pled where Pierre Poilievre calls out markcarney. But we're going to get into this. Now, before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel. And I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. So let's get into it, and then we'll talk about it after.
Extortions. Part of this is due to foreign criminals that Liberals have let into Canada and allowed to terrorize our streets. The public safety minister has lost track of 600 foreign criminals, and he keeps his job under markcarney. It's time for markcarney to explain why he allows Liberal C5 to remain in place. This is a law that reduced criminal penalties and jail time for extortion with a gun. Why, Mr. Carney, do you keep in place the Liberal law that lets gun-toting extortionists off with house arrest? Mr. Carney, you are endangering our people with these radical Liberal laws. Extortion.
Because he really called out markcarney more on that one. But that being said, Sean Fraser is the Attorney General. He's the guy in charge of holding criminals accountable. So, it's markcarney for hiring him, but it's also Sean Fraser's job. So, what a terrifying thought that is, isn't it? So now I got something here from the Pleb. It says Pierre Poilievre tells markcarney to stop ending foreign aid to other countries because charity starts at home. Great point. Stop flooding Canada with fake refugees. Great point. Stop funding the asylum seeker hotels. Holy shit, Pierre Poilievre got his aura back. Okay, well that's good. And a lot of people, they say, Pierre Poilievre, he's got to change his tone. He can't be attacking the Liberals so much. I completely disagree. The reason, or one of the big reasons in my opinion, that Pierre Poilievre became popular with so many young people is because he went after the Liberals and exposed them. Young people did not show up in droves to vote for Aaron O'Toole. They didn't, because he's very soft and milquetoast and, well, here's my platform. And by the way, also agreed with everything that the Liberals did during the pandemic. Pierre didn't. You're not going to get, here's the thing, if you want to be different than the Liberals, you're going to have to act different than the Liberals. If you're going to sit here and go, oh, here I am, my name's Aaron O'Toole, and la 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 la, people don't care. You gotta, the best way to to educate people is to also be a little bit entertaining. And the way Pierre speaks, he's a very good speaker, and he's a very entertaining guy. He knows how to hold a crowd. Also disagrees with the Liberals, because a lot of people who don't vote think that the Liberals and the Conservatives are the same. So if you have someone like Aaron O'Toole come in there and run against a guy like Trudeau or Carney, most people are going to be like, who cares? That's what I did. I voted for the PPC in 2021 because I didn't like either candidate. And I was told it's so important to vote, which it is now, because the Liberals and the Conservatives are different. You have an option other than just 4 Liberal parties to vote for. A lot of people may disagree with that, but Pierre Poilievre is acting more like a real conservative than most other candidates, especially someone like Aaron O'Toole. So let's get into this. Now, before we do... we already did that. Okay, so we're going to get into this, then we'll talk about this after as well.
And people can enjoy for 3 or 4 more days before it spoils. And of course, And people can enjoy for 3 or 4 more days before it spoils. And of course, get rid of the inflation tax. We're calling for Mark Carney to reverse his new spending increases, cap spending, cut bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid. We can't give money abroad when we're not feeding our own people at home. Charity starts at home. Cut foreign aid. Put the money into our country instead. Let's cut back on the handouts to phony asylum claimants. Stop paying for hotels for fake refugees. Get rid of the corporate welfare handouts to Mark Carney's insiders and friends. Let's bring down the deficit so that we don't have to print money anymore. Get rid of the inflation tax so that people's purchasing power lasts longer. These are positive, and people can enjoy.
So the thing I want to touch on is the foreign aid, the overspending, things like that. My point on that is we have children in this country who don't have enough food to eat. That's why the Liberals come out with this school lunch program so they can give kids one meal a day, sometimes, some days, and they're the heroes. What Pierre wants to do is cut the spending, cut some of the taxes, have a thriving economy where workers are making more, wages go up, therefore you can feed your own kids, which is how it should be, right? But the Liberals don't want to do that. They want you to be dependent on them. So anyway, back to my take on foreign aid. We have children who can't eat every day. We have people who are homeless. We have drug addicts, mentally ill people on the street. That is going to take a lot of money to clean up. Stop sending money to these other countries. Clean up the mess here in Canada, and then if you have enough money after, you can send some foreign aid. Not fund proxy wars. I don't mean that. But if you took a country, say a war-torn country, and there was people, and hey, we can bring them over here for temporary and have them stay in temporary housing, something like that. I'm all for helping people in need. Not funding wars, but helping people in need, that's fine. If the people here are okay first. Right? If you have $3,000 in your bank account, and one of your good friends comes up to you and says, look, I can't pay rent, I'm behind, I need $5,000, can you help me out? You can't, because you don't have enough money. If you had $1 million in your account, sure, here's $5,000. Oh, thanks, I'll pay you back. Nope, it's just a gift. Here you go. If the more people thrive, the more they can take care of other people. So after we clean up the streets, after we make sure that there's enough food on the table in every household, if you have enough money for foreign aid, specifically foreign aid, then fine. But I don't want to hear about any of that stuff where we got homeless kids or kids who can't eat or homeless veterans on the street. It's disgusting. Clean up the mess here at home first, and then if you want to or you can help other countries with foreign aid specifically, go right ahead and do it.